We're going live soon.
We're live.
I think we're going to be live
now.
in just a moment. Yeah.
Whoops. Oops. Sorry, Al.
Oh, there goes the mute button. Too bad. Oh, look, we're about to lose 2 people from the stream. Oh, so sad. Too bad. Hello, Al. I don't do this as often, that you can just infecting
This
my
is an awesome
stream.
intro. We're having fun.
Hello to my Al pals, and I'm not talking about the 2 other gentlemen that are currently at the stream, who tonight are at the whim of my mute button. And welcome to Big Al Presents, and tonight we are going to be rewatching the 1989 sci-fi comedy classic Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Woohoo!
A film that is truly excellent.
Excellent.
A film that had a lot of push behind it when it came out. Made for, I think, like $6 billion. Made not quite 10 times its budget in its initial release, but of course has made tons more since then. Mm-hmm. But it was made from a script that had been floating around for a long time. I think the legend was, and they were just everybody was trying to get a hold of this script because everyone thought it was a surefire hit, and of course it was. I mean, it's pretty much where we first get to meet a 22-year-old Keanu Reeves and a 21-year-old Alex Winter. One of those guys went on to superstardom, and the other didn't.
Well,
he still had I mean, Alex Winter, like I said, if you got, I think we were talking about this last night. If your career has one huge hit and you are known. And you're known to someone, and you're just Bill from Bill and Ted, that's not a bad thing to be.
Not at all.
So I mean, and Alex Winter, he's had other things. He's been a director.
Lost Boys.
He's Lost Boys. I remember seeing him in an episode of Bones, playing a bad guy. And so he's been around, but of course, Keanu Reeves just is the one who caught fire because he had those good looks, and even if he didn't quite have the acting ability that some people think he may have, he made it work for him.
To be fair, he was Alex Winter did kind of choose to do more producing and directing, and he was pretty successful there. But Keanu Reeves too, he didn't really take off too much until Speed. That was when he can do action stuff too, and then of course the Matrix, and then so.
Because I remember seeing him in Parenthood.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody remembers that, he played opposite.
He played.
Oh God! Well, everybody makes a good choice. He, of course, now with John Wick, he's kind of reinvented himself. So,
and I'm glad he did, because for the longest time, I swear, all I could see was this character. In everything he did. Even bits in the Matrix, and I think for me was Bram Stoker's Dracula. I got that vibe from him then, and I'm like,
that was hilarious.
He's not acting, he's playing the same thing.
Mina, I'm like a vampire.
Yeah, exactly.
First of all, I'd like to welcome our group of crazies here tonight. First up, we have Troy Pacelli, the Klingon cleric. Welcome, sir.
Excellent.
And we have Troy's lovelier half by a factor of 20. The lovely Netters Network has finally joined us. How you doing tonight, Annette? How you doing? You doing all right? You here with us?
I'm doing great. I hope you guys can hear me okay.
I hear you.
Awesome. I am here with you, but you hear me because my sound's been a little weird. Okay, awesome.
Well, you sound excellent. And our special Saturday night guest, when he doesn't show up sort of doesn't show up a lot on the Saturday night rewatches, who is joining us tonight because it's Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and it's such an excellent movie. It is the immortal Professor Geek. Welcome, sir.
I am crazy excited about tonight. Thank you. Super excited. I just love this movie so much. I actually almost missed it though, because I laid down for a power nap at like 7:30-ish. And seriously, I just woke up 15 minutes ago, which is unheard of for me. My naps are like 20 minutes like clockwork. That's it. Maybe a little longer if I'm really tired, but I guess the last few days have been a little harrowing, or just not harrowing, but I've been on my toes with Alyssa quite a bit. So I'm glad I woke up in time. We're here. I would have pulled it out.
I'm glad you're here. We be pulled it out. What?
Well, if anything, you could always just jump in your phone box and go back in time an hour or two, make sure that you're here in time.
Remember an alarm clock.
Right, exactly.
I always think it's funny is that the guy in the original script, the time machine was supposed to be a '69 Chevy van. Mm-hmm. But they thought it was too close to Back to the Future, so they took a phone box. Yep. I guess no one heard of Doctor Who, so that's one of the things. Let's say hi. Let's say hi to the people in chat. Melissa Harris. I don't know who was actually first, so I'm calling it. Melissa Harris was first. Casey Scott, welcome, sir. Evelyn Hampton, welcome.
Hey, Evelyn. I'm glad you could make it.
Aged Boomer, welcome, sir. How you doing this evening? Daniel Heron, kind of catch it. Chris P, Daniel Craig. We've got that's it so far. So hopefully everybody will join, like I said, come in and join us as we go along. Sound Engraver has joined us in chat. Welcome, Sound Engraver. Of course, welcome to join us if you wish, but I understand if you don't want to. Not quite sure if she's the Bill and Ted type of girl, but we'll work on that. Dude.
Set up some lyrics, man. Set up some lyrics.
Especially considering this is, it may not be her style of music, but it's definitely a music-centric film. It's the main part of the plot.
Yeah, and Melissa Harris is like, who did he play in Dracula? Mm-hmm. Had the bamboo butt on his head. You said Jonathan Harker. Of the two roles that he is the most wooden in, I've got to give that one. Jonathan Harker was very, very. He just wasn't right for that, and he was in Much Ado About Nothing, a Shakespearean play, playing the brother to the prince, or he was a Prince John or something, and he just
Much Ado About Nothing. Yeah, he was. Yeah,
you just don't cast Keanu Reeves in Shakespeare. It just
to be fair, that role is supposed to be pretty wooden anyway. There's not a lot of.
So maybe that's why they cast him, right?
He's the quiet heavy. That's all, pretty much,
Yeah, but I don't think it did. I don't know.
Although, it wasn't until later. John Wick, which I still haven't seen yet. The Lake House. He's really loosened up and really grown into the acting role. He's become a good actor, but it took him a long time before he could get out of just that,
he was
Ted kind of thing,
Yeah, he was in a Netflix film. I can't remember the name of it, where he played himself.
Really?
And he plays an over the top, weird Hollywood version of himself, and it's pretty funny.
It's awesome when someone can lampoon themselves.
Yeah, he plays himself very well, and he looked like he had a lot of fun with that. So yes, for those who are going to be watching along with us tonight, I am at the 4-second mark on. If anyone has an MP4 of this, it's just as Metro Golden Mayor Lion starts to roar. So somewhere around the 4-second mark, anywhere at that beginning will be perfect timing to start the film at. I'm just sorry. I'm trying to reposition my film here. There we go. I was watching something last night. And I made it a little bigger than I needed to, and I can't see the chat. There we go. Now I can see everybody. Always be my maybe. Yes, that was it, Chris P. Thank you. Yeah, it's actually not a bad little film. It's kind of a fun. It's a fun little romantic comedy. Nothing great, but he is definitely the standout in that. So does anybody have anything to say before we get started, or any history behind it?
When you referenced Chris P's name, I wasn't looking at the chat, and I swore that you said crispy.
Yeah, I think crispy too.
Crispy.
I was like, is there someone crispy in here? He is. He's crispy. You can say it however you want, but it's crispy. That's all I'm going to hear now. It's crispy.
Chris P. And it still sounds like crispy.
Yeah, it does. It just sounds like you're saying it's slow.
Good luck getting away with a pause like that in this crowd.
Daniel Craig's like, I don't even have to watch the movie. My brother and I watched the film so many times. We were kids. I have the whole thing memorized. Yeah, there are a lot of people out there like that.
In my mind.
There's writing it as we go along.
A few films like that. I'm not as. I've seen it quite a few times, but I haven't seen it in a long time. So I'm really, kind of looking forward to watching it again for the first time in many, many, many years. So if everyone's getting ready to start here.
Well, I just want to remind everyone to hit that thumbs up if you haven't.
Right.
Yes, please hit the thumbs up or you will make Nanette cry.
I feel like I'm seeing four thumbs less than we actually have watching. So make sure you hit it.
Get on it.
Yep. Smash it. Smash the button. And then turn the knob, and that's on the way to the knob. Sorry, something else. But okay, I'll count down from 3, and of course, as usual, we will start at right after 1. So get ready. In 3, 2, 1, start.
That's fine, Daniel Craig. That's why we remind people.
You're just trying to be different than me. You can't say play. You have to say start.
I said start. Excuse me for being different. Hey, not everybody is Professor Geek.
So I'm surprised you didn't bring this up, Al, because I know you like the trivia and stuff, but you were talking about the writers and whatnot. So Matheson, Richard Matheson, the great sci-fi writer, his son is one of the writers and creators of Bill and Ted, along with Solomon. Huh. And the two of them did some improv stuff, and that's where they created these characters. And their original script was supposed to be just like a script of a bunch of different comedic skits. But Richard Matheson, the great sci-fi writer, was the one who told them, no, you just need to stick with those two characters. They're the funniest. So the great Richard Matheson is responsible for giving us Bill and Ted. It's kind of cool.
Neat.
Yeah, it was a stand-up act, and there was actually a third guy named Bob.
Mm-hmm.
I believe. Bill and Ted and Bob.
Doesn't have the same ring to it.
No, yeah.
And I love this opening song. Just pure 80s rock.
Right.
Yeah. Jane Whelan, who, of course, we've met.
And I love this imagery, too.
George Carlin.
Of course, we start off in the future with all of the jeweled looks and everything. It's all
the perfect future that we find out why it's a perfect future, of course, a little later. Not to give anything away.
So what's on your screen right now,
Al? Co-executive producer Stephen Deutsch.
Oh, okay. You're a couple seconds ahead of me then. Or actually quite a few.
Executive producer
Ted Field. Written by Chris Matheson and Ed Solomon.
Yep. That's where I'm at. So, this, although it wasn't part of my plan, this still kind of falls within my my time travel series. 2688.
Yep.
And yet English sounds exactly the same. It's amazing.
You know what? Universal translators.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that we start off with just George Carlin again in black there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great stand-up comedian doing his shtick.
Never really thought about it this way before, but we start out with an exposition dump.
I love the long before Harry Potter, we got the moving images there for the album cover.
Right. Well, that actually was not new with Harry Potter. That had been there had been talk about like LED newspapers and stuff like that.
Oh, I remember doing this when I was just like me and a guitar player jamming,
Stallions,
trying to make our own little music video.
See, isn't that the way the garage bands, for so many kids were? They have absolutely no talent, no idea how to play the instruments,
and literally
a
garage band. And San Dimas, California, recently had its like 50th anniversary or something.
Really?
And they said one of the things was an excellent history or something, because they embrace the whole Bill and Ted thing.
I like their logical solecism here. Till we have Eddie Van Halen. But we won't get Eddie Van Halen until we have a music video. And that is why we need an excellent video.
It really is putting the cart in front of the horse, though, isn't it?
Was it like the old thing, for want of a nail?
Yeah.
For want of a nail, the horse was lost. The shoe was lost for loss of a shoe.
What?
Birdie. What?
What were you talking about?
For want of a nail, the shoe was lost. For want of a shoe, the horse was lost. It's a basically how important even a small little nail can be. Bernie Casey does not look like a guy you could beat in a fight.
Yes,
I don't want him.
Admiral, sir.
I would not. Yeah, he would make a great captain, admiral, and some guy you don't want yelling at you.
It was Joan of Arc, Noah's wife. I tried to skip ahead. Am I more or less with you guys now?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Right on.
Okay, you're right there. They're just walking out.
I think it's my PS3 always takes a few seconds after you hit the play button to go.
Al, the teacher was an admiral in Star Trek, wasn't he?
He might have been.
But what we were saying about, having to learn how to play their instruments, I've always been amazed by how many, really popular rock stars and whatnot turn out, oh yeah, they're classically trained musicians, and then they decided to go into rock and roll or whatever. And I find that amazing until I really stop and think, you need to know how to play before you can do anything,
It's true. And this movie too sat on the shelf for a while before it actually got released. I forget what the red tape. Did you find anything about that, Al? I forgot the details behind that.
No, I do know that at one point he says something about 1988, but he actually said 1987, but they had to redub it because the film took a little extra to come out.
I wonder if Keanu Reeves ever looks back at this and is either like, yeah, this was a really great movie that I did, or he looks back at it and goes, oh man, I can't believe I did that movie.
Well, he did a third one, so he must be okay with it.
I think he's at a point where he kind of embraces it,
Seriously though, how fun would it? Oh, go ahead, Al. Sorry.
I just say it's nothing to be ashamed of to have been in this a hit film and a hit sequel. Nothing to be ashamed of there. I mean, you're doing an acting job and you doing it very well.
How fun would it be to take that history class, or even to teach it? Because it's like there's no such thing as a history class that actually goes through all of that. That's just like the greatest hits of history. Joan of Arc, Billy the Kid, Socrates.
I love what he just said there. He's like, well, then who was Noah's wife? You know what? It's funny, but at the same time, it's like from a teacher's point of view, that's got to be gold. I mean, he's thinking. He cares.
So she was a senior when they were freshmen, and she married Bill's dad. I love that.
Yeah, and Missy, who does return in the upcoming sequel,
really,
and is played by the same actress.
Yeah,
I would imagine they try to get as many of the same actors as possible.
Yeah, I think they pretty much did.
Now, the actor here for Ted's dad, isn't he also the actor that does Abe Lincoln?
I don't know. Is he?
Is it?
I think it is, but
you might be right.
I have to look at this here.
I know. I am too.
That was Robert Barron played Abraham Lincoln, and no, this is Hal Landon Jr.
Very similar face shapes.
They do look alike.
And I never noticed that until just now. Very good.
Well, this guy, Ted's dad, was actually in L.A. Noire as well. He was a security guard. You have to go question.
It's not the military school that's so bad. It's the Alaska part.
Yeah.
I may or may not have worn a vest over a T-shirt for quite a while in the late 80s, early 90s because of this movie.
I tried that style. It never worked with me.
I may or may not have worn a very high-collared futuristic outfit for a while.
Now, there we go. That's what's his name? Saxophone player from the E Street Band. Fee Bill from the Tubes. And then what's her name from the Motels? They are the I like that they actually put rock stars in there as the futuristic time.
And if people notice, there was a little goof there. While before the phone booth was fully formed, you saw the reflection of the phone booth in his glasses.
Oh,
just a little thing.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Well, nowadays they would take that out in post.
Okay, what number do you just dial?
Actually, that is in the trivia somewhere here. I saw it.
I like that he pushes the pound and Starkey at the same time, though.
No, I got the one where he goes to Austria. Never mind.
Martha Davis from the Motels. Thank you, Chris P.
Yeah.
Daniel Craig says he printed out that cover from the Van Halen album and taped it to a white T-shirt. That's awesome.
One of my favorite little pieces of trivia I came across when I was just reading some stuff. They say "dude" 70 times and "excellent" 30 times during the film.
Nice.
That would be a drinking game that would kill you.
This blows my mind. She's trying so hard to be, like a domestic type wife. It's like weird.
And they're staring at her like, whoa.
It's your mom, dude.
I know. Now, wasn't and I'm misremembering casting apparently, but didn't Martin Mull take over the role of Bill's father in Bogus Journey? We'll find out Tuesday, I guess. But
yeah, I don't know
if he didn't. He totally could have.
Mm-hmm. I think he wasn't.
When they had I know when they had started filming, they hadn't cast Rufus yet.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to get a serious actor. One of the names that popped up was Sean Connery.
But that would have been weird.
It was actually Alex Winter who came up with George Carlin.
Oh, wow, cool. Now, I love this. I love it. Ted calls him out for it, rips him for it. I love that. In your own room, dude.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Martin Mull.
It was a different actor, though, right? Shut up, Ted. I love that little grin. Like, yeah, I got under your skin. There is a Circle K outside of the university I teach at, and every time I go by it, every single time I drive by it, through my head, strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
I think the one here is they actually filmed it in Arizona, I believe.
Hmm.
Okay.
Agent Boomer says, "Who is the antagonist in this movie?" I guess it's themselves, their own stupidity. They gotta hurry up and learn the lesson. The second film has a solid antagonist with the bad robot us's.
The bad robot us's.
We need good robot us's to fight the bad robot us's.
Perhaps we could ask them.
Yeah.
I almost changed my name from Big Al to Big Al Esquire, but I kind of forgot.
I was almost going to do something like that, but then I thought you guys might. And I also almost changed mine to Profus for Rufus, but that wouldn't match the avatar, so.
Profus.
Or a foot at the Circle K.
Okay. So my little time travel commentary. You had one of the running shticks that is so funny is poking at this ontological paradox. And later on in the film, they actually even use that.
Yeah.
You know, the bootstrap paradox.
What number are we thinking of?
Whoa! like the four of them partying out there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so perfect. All these little hints placed in. It's like we'll see them do this scene later. He talks about the princesses, reminding about the watch and everything.
Yeah, you're talking about antagonists. Yeah, like you said, I guess the antagonist is their own failure. That's who they're fighting.
Time itself too, because they've got a limited amount of time. Yeah.
So one of the consistencies that I love about this movie, you just told him, don't forget to wind your watch, okay? And what happens? He goes, oh yeah, and he looks at it and never does it. And so we find out later why he's telling himself that, but nothing changes.
Yeah.
It is internally consistent.
Sure, we'll get inside a phone booth with a complete stranger.
Well, because they told themselves
told you them to.
If you can't trust yourself, who can you trust?
Are you going to call someone and get the answers?
Shouldn't you pick up your school books that you just dropped on the ground? Or snacks or whatever those were?
They'll come back around for them.
We got the real deal.
They can pick them up 5 minutes ago if they want to.
That's right. I love the time streams.
Looking like a circuitry board.
Yeah.
Or whatever, like the cables inside of a phone or something.
The circuits of history. Yeah.
Whoa.
Whee!
And we get the famous meeting of Here we go.
What was unprecedented for you?
And they're always using like bigger words, so they obviously know what these words mean. So they're not stupid, you know, but they just kind of act stupid.
I think Napoleon's one of my favorite characters in the whole movie, honestly.
Oh yeah. He's a lot of fun.
I love it when he's bowling and he has his hissy fit. Oh, we'll get to that part. I had action figures of all of these characters, believe it or not. I wish I still had them. But it was after the second movie came out, and they did I do still have the comic books that took place after the second film. And they did a line of action figures too, which were awesome. But there he goes. Yeah, Melissa Harris, they're not actually supposed to be high or anything. That's just their intelligence level. They're just the typical.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
see, what I love is the way they act like everything is blowing their mind, you know? And I don't see that as being dumb. I see that as being excited, you know?
Yeah, excited,
full of exuberance, that youthful exuberance, you know?
Naive. And they don't, like I said, they don't really know history, but this is bringing it to life for them. You know, they're finally seeing it. They get it.
I have heard of history teachers using this movie, at least at one point when it was still popular, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Napoleon's boots just dangling there from the tree.
Gotta admire George Carlin's beard.
Yeah.
That's a nice, tight, trim, scaped beard, just the way it should be.
This has been a most unusual day. Aren't you a little short to be Napoleon? There is no way that actor is 5 feet 6 inches.
The short dead dude from our history review.
And I love Ted's younger brother. Typical type of brother that Ted would have.
Bonjour, Corporal. That 76 King Kong poster in the back. Oh,
yep.
Oh, yeah.
With the Twin Towers.
Oh, wow. Daniel Craig says some new Bill and Ted figures are being produced with actual cloth costumes. That's awesome. I haven't looked for the old ones. You know, I do like to look for vintage toys that I used to collect and stuff, like the He-Man stuff. I would love to see if they're available at the old Bill and Ted ones. Poor Napoleon.
Can you even imagine what that's got to be like? Like waking up.
Oh, Napoleon's here. Let's just leave him with my little brother. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is, Landon there, that actor, he really does strict father well. I remember being terrified of him as a younger child.
Well, I always remember, and I know this is like, you know, mentioning another movie during it, but the guy who played the father in Jumanji.
Oh, yeah.
He was a strict guy.
Little touch there, too. He said, "You lose my keys." You know, so that's the first time we heard about that, and that'll come back later. Nice little drops.
Well, earlier in the movie, he
Deputy Van Halen. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, earlier in the movie, he had asked him, "Did you lose my keys, or did you take my keys?" He's like, "No, sir." So he's been looking for his keys for a while.
Yeah, and we'll find out later. Deputy Van Halen. I've never heard Eddie Van Halen or any of the guys from the band comment on the movie. I'm sure they have somewhere, but they're so referenced through it.
Eddie Van Halen said if they asked him, that he'd have joined the band.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Come on.
And this is a perfect setup for the adventure. So they got the tension, the stakes are high, they've got the consequences, they're up against the clock. And boom,
I love
ready
how
for
everything is set up like in the old yellow pages with all the adverts in it. You know?
Like Mongol, ancient Greece.
Yeah. Now that's the kind of thing they should talk about a promotional tie-in. They should do.
Let's reach out and touch one.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it when futuristic movies use technology that's a little rinky-dink, like that antenna on the thing. You know,
that retro futurism stuff.
Yeah, I love that. Like the descendant of atomic punk, whatever you call it for the 80s. We have the Wild West.
Old West, dude.
I love that it lands right in between the outhouses too.
Yeah,
you might on it.
Well, just be careful when you step into the thing. Someone else might have gotten there first.
Oh no!
You haven't lived until you've had to use an outhouse.
I'm glad I haven't lived yet. Then
I have. At least I have one here.
I'm looking for Marty McFly.
I know, right? I love how Billy the Kid just like becomes their ally from the start. You know, He didn't even card us.
I like those. I like those old beers.
Yeah.
Now I'm surprised, Troy, that you're not calling out the historical inaccuracies of all the characters and whatnot.
Well, I'm more focused on the time travel and physics elements.
Gotcha.
This is a comedy, so I do give them all the latitude on
oh,
this.
okay.
And to be honest, I did kind of already give them a dig for the shortness of Napoleon.
Oh, that's true.
Of course, Billy the Kid was supposed to be like a teen, and this guy is easily in his late
keep
20s.
in mind, they always cast teens with 30-year-olds in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That
Mr. the
was
Kid.
Not a trick, Beck. That was an actual pointless trick, actually. It doesn't really do anything.
I like his poker face, man. And then his attempt at having
three aces.
Oh man.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Yep.
And they're still sitting
there with their cards. Yeah.
Immediate fight. They think it's amazing. It's like they're watching TV, right?
Well, come on. It is pretty cool.
It is. Excellent. We're totally weak.
What's for water loops? You're gonna have to wait a while.
Yeah.
So the in addition to being a time traveling booth, it's also a space traveling booth as well to go to the different locales of these time events.
It's like, let me put that in my head back in that hole because the pretty ladies are there.
He wants to check out the girls still. The Goodyear blimp.
Just shot his buddy in the foot.
And immediately, right now, Billy the Kid's just like their third stooge. I love it how he just becomes part of their team, you know.
Yeah.
And Billy the Kid in Socrates. That is the best team up in the world later. I love that.
Yeah. I love the fact that they deal with the fact that it's a finite space. It's not a TARDIS. It's not bigger on the inside. You got to squeeze in.
Yeah,
they did say that after a little while of filming, it did become a hell being in that thing.
I would imagine it did.
I bet.
You
Socrates or
look newer.
Socrates. Yeah, that's right. And I like what?
One of my favorite parts is coming up.
Yeah, when he philosophizes with him.
The Kansas reference, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Dust, wind, dude. It's under Socrates. I love this. Wisdom consists in knowing that you know nothing. That's us, dude.
Well, in a way, rock bottom is some good solid ground.
And this actor who played Socrates is he was the waiter in Scrooged that Bill Murray's freaking out with the highball and stuff.
Yeah, look at how trash.
And I like what his translation of what they say is. It's the days of our lives.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Philosophize with him. That's where I got that word philosophize.
Yeah,
philosophize.
I use that in my videos all the time, and I have to occasionally somebody said, "You know, that's not even a word." I'm like, watch Bill and Ted.
It is now. Neither was normalcy until a president said
it. Wind.
And it's kind of what he was talking about. So
yeah.
So are the days of our lives. Yeah, exactly.
So are the days of our lives.
I don't know the goof. The hourglass wasn't invented then, but that's who cares.
Now the princesses is a great scene because the pace really slows down. It's interesting writing. They're on the ball accumulating characters, but you can't just do that the whole movie. You do have to slow down and have a little adventure at some point. And this is a perfect place to do that. You gain 2 characters. Now let them meet the princesses.
Now, I do appreciate that it's not like they went back to ancient Greece and were able to converse with them. Okay, they acknowledge the language barrier. Yeah. Problem is, you get to 15th century England, you should not be able to understand them at all.
Old English, yeah.
Yeah, it's closer to French or like a French Germanic blending.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember reading some Old English when I was, Chaucer would have been Middle English, but we did read some Old English when we were looking at the Norse invasion and stuff, and like the English Lit 1.
It's challenging.
Man, you can read Middle English if you really try. You can sort of understand it. Old English, nope, completely different language.
Yeah, if you don't know like French and German,
yeah,
and even then you're going to get really lost and confused.
Think of love, dude. There's that love at first sight
that you told yourself about at the Circle K.
One of the princesses is played by Diane Franklin, who I've always loved.
The redhead?
No, the dark-haired one, actually.
Dark-haired one.
I like how Billy the Kid. I look how Billy the Kid and Socrates are playing football or something in the background there.
Yeah.
And Socrates tries to throw it and he like turns it around. That's just weird. Oh, they're the hilarious duo. I could see like a mini adventure. Like, give me a mini film that's just like Billy the Kid and Socrates going around in these different places they travel to. I'd love that.
Stuff that totally could have been happening off screen and you wouldn't have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Heavy metal.
They're just like having fun, you know.
A little Star Wars reenactment here.
I'm Darth Ted.
You're not my father.
You're not my father. I'm Luke Bill. And they even do some Yoda voices there.
I totally conquered you, dude.
I'll never rule the universe with you.
And it gets real, though, in just a second when he falls down. You know they had to have a blast shooting this.
Right?
Yeah.
Sorry I killed you, dude.
And I love the explanation for what happens here. It's like, yeah, okay, that's plausible. But nice tense moment, though, you know?
Right?
It goes from hilarious comedy to, whoa, what's going to happen now? I mean, this is really like, you know, good writing, good direction, I think, too.
Or misdirection.
Yeah.
Well, you know it's a misdirection because you've already seen them later.
Well, yeah. But
you've seen the later him earlier.
The mystery of how it's going to work out.
Go back in time and don't get stabbed. I mean, and you're right. I mean, it gets serious. You know, he's not messing around.
But bogus. Heinous. Most non-triumphant. I talked like this for years just because of this movie. And then when Wayne's World came out, it was all over. I just regressed again.
Oh, yeah.
Evil killed him.
Ooh. I like the Tweety Bird sound.
Tweety Bird sound. Great addition. Just
you totally boned that dude in the head. He's a total bonehead. I fell out of my suit when I hit the floor.
I love when they hug each other.
Yeah, the brunette's been in some other stuff, hasn't she?
Yeah, I remember her from The Last American Virgin. She was in Better Off Dead.
The redhead always looks like the girl from Goonies, but it's not, I don't think. But I always thought she looked a lot like her.
Yeah.
Or from Lucas, you know, that girl, forget her name.
Yeah.
I love the sleeve ruffles.
Her name's Carrie. So Carrie Clark? Carrie something.
I love the lyrics he cites up. Cite up some lyrics. Now I forget. We're talking over it now. Did they ever say which king it's supposed to be?
They said it was King Henry's council.
Oh, okay. Of course, babes.
Royal ugly dudes.
I like the Iron Maiden bit. The Duke of Ted. I saw somebody had that as their YouTube name one time on the channel. It was like Duke of Ted. And they didn't even bother explaining it. And I don't know if anybody else got it, but I was cracking up.
I mean, okay, so if you want me to get, historical,
right.
There probably weren't, any real Iron Maidens that were used for torture.
Iron Maiden was a Victorian. Was a
Victorian invention
yeah.
of a fake historical torture device. Yeah.
But then you wouldn't get the cool joke.
Right. No, that's exactly what I mean. That's why I totally have no problem with.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of intentional historical inaccuracies, and it's kind of hard to pick on someone when they're doing it on purpose.
That's true. It's not like a mistake they accidentally made or made in their hubris. They're actually on purpose. Yeah,
exactly.
Just learning your criteria, but that makes sense.
Because there's some things that they get accurate, and I'm like, that's actually pretty good. Someone did get it wrong.
Carrie Green was the.
I love it.
Look at this. So for them to
Feeling
get
so great, it's got their back
from where they were playing with the football to here, something happened, and that is a great implied story.
Yep. I didn't read all of the comics, but it would have been a great place to tell that story in the comics. That would have been wonderful.
Another great place is if they'd done a video game and you could play as those characters.
Oh yes. Oh
right?
Man. I almost said, please make that happen, but no, don't. Wait 20 years until the industry's fixed, and then we'll do it.
Right.
Socrates is whipping randomly. Get out of the way, sheep. Nice little action scenes, for the 80s. This was
I think the helmets some of those guys that were chasing on horses were used in Willow.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes if you look at some of those kind of films, you'll see reused.
Dial fast, dude. The number's not in
Party
service.
on, dude.
Party on, dude.
Party on, dude. Do you remember, Al, a couple of years ago at this point, signing off at the end of one of the office hours, and I said, well, Al, be excellent to each other.
Yeah, I remember.
What?
I had a brain freeze, man.
I was like, what do you mean, what?
Casey,
so you did, if you saw...
Oh,
go ahead.
There was a Bill and Ted game on the NES, and it sucked.
Oh, probably.
I'm sorry to hear that.
But if you saw when the guy swung the mace there, it did connect on the antenna slightly. That's where the antenna gets when they find out it's broken later. Which is their music.
I really had his gun run.
Uh-huh.
Just ready for something.
Fee Waybill, for people who don't usually, most people don't know his name or anything, unless you're a Tubes fan or one of the fans of the movies, that we've watched. He's got some pretty excellent credentials to have been in these two films, Xanadu and Bill and Ted.
Yep.
Who are we?
This is a cool scene.
It is, yeah. The music's awesome too.
All right. I don't
Everybody
normally
wants
do this, but I'm gonna have to step away from it. I'll be back.
Okay.
Right. I like how everybody wants a glimpse of their
Yeah.
ancient heroes.
I played air guitar.
I do love this soundtrack. Bogus Journey had a great soundtrack too, but I'm like slipping into my old Bill and Ted E's. I almost said a most excellent soundtrack too.
A most excellent soundtrack.
It's most triumphant. Listen. Be flint to each other.
Party on, dudes.
All right. I guess Socrates approves. Not a future report.
I mean, I think for them it would be like what would you say for us to meet?
Like me meeting George Washington and Thomas Jefferson or something.
Yeah, that would be when they were kids, before they became who they actually were.
Chris P agrees with the soundtrack. Yeah, it is awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't own this one as a child, but I remember all the songs. Looked them up on YouTube since, but I did own Bogus Journey soundtrack.
Oh, the Inventions of Napoleon.
Yep, I love it. Eat the pig. The Ziggy pig. Eat the pig. Ziggy, 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 Zig. He gives him a high five when he's trying to stop it. This is his first time trying ice cream.
Yeah.
I like when we come back later and he's like hogging the whole thing. That does look pretty good.
That would be cool. Like sit there with a big old thing like that, sharing with like 4 other people.
Ooh, with their spoons and everything. That's kind of gross, though. Certainly couldn't do it today. Ziggy Piggy. I love that Napoleon over his general's insignia has a Ziggy Piggy button on it.
No, so
and let's just I love that Deacon just hangs out with a couple of twin ladies. like those are that's his entourage.
Yeah, you find something out about Deacon in Face the Music.
No.
I saw a spoiler.
No, I don't even care. But he's like 12, and I just love that. I don't know how he was supposed to be here. It's like a roller coaster for him. Now, Freud is spot on. I love Freud in this.
Yeah.
It actually reminds me of a lit professor I used to have, one of my favorites.
Freud.
Sigmund Freud,
dude.
Extra credit. Freud, dude. This must be a dream. A Freudian dream. There would Beethoven. I love that Beethoven doesn't even know he's being taken away. They just grab him and walk off with him. But Beethoven in the mall later, that is one epic scene when he discovers keyboards.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And he's rocking like 5 Casios at a time or something. This little rendition of Fur Elise.
Although it doesn't look like his hands are moving like they should.
Oh yeah.
A little flourish. Oh, so good. A little bow from Socrates.
I know Socrates gives a bow.
Jane Wheatland.
Yeah, Jane Whedon's great. She was really cool.
Yep. She was
but
awesome.
I love that it lands right in front of her, in front of the altar there. She thinks it's like this religious experience. There's one scene in the comic book, which takes place right after Bogus Journey. They actually have a party to celebrate their weddings, you know, that they ended up going in time to have, you know, and they go back and get all of these characters to come back and celebrate their weddings for them. And there's this one scene of Joan of Arc staring at the spit roast and like loosening her collar a little bit, you know.
Jane Wheatland is such a beautiful girl too,
and a great musician.
Still is. I still love the fact that she hurt her knee playing lightsaber on Hollywood Hills. Remember that story she told?
Yeah. Genghis Khan. I love that they lure him away with a chocolate bar, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
What is it? A Twinkie? I forget what it is. They say it in a second.
It's a Twinkie.
Yeah, Twinkie.
Yeah, want a Twinkie, Genghis Khan? Come get it.
Say please.
Say please. Doesn't you? God, that looks so much like the father. Really, the same nose and everything.
Yeah.
You're right. It does look like him.
Everybody they recruit ends up.
Not the first time that Lincoln and Genghis Khan had been together. If anybody's familiar with the original Star Trek series, Savage Curtain.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Oh, good call. Good call.
It's no longer a phone booth. Now it's a boat.
I know. And apparently there's oxygen inside the time circuits. I do love how they fixed the antenna, though. That's awesome.
So, you're getting on me about, being forgiving of a comedy about history. But here's the thing. My feeling is if you're going to do a serious film, about a historical period, you can't do better than telling the actual story.
Mm-hmm.
The real history is a good story. He's cheating.
I like how she's trying to cheat.
He's cheating at the score.
And the problem is the math doesn't work. So it's like, that's not even good cheating.
And here comes his temper tantrum, which I love. Napoleon's like, it's my turn.
The thing is, how would he even know what the numbers mean for the bowling,
He knows more is better. That's all he needs to know, I guess.
Like he's like bowling. And then you kind of feel sorry for him when he realizes he's been ditched. It's like, oh, poor Napoleon. Decon. Oh.
So I guess what I'm getting at is Hollywood so desperately wants to teach everyone something. They want to preach. They want to, get across their message. If you want to use Hollywood for a teaching tool, start by getting the history right. Is all I'm saying.
He's still wearing bowling shoes.
Yeah, he is. He's still wearing bowling shoes. I never thought that. Yeah, it's an excellent point, Troy, except that those in charge of Hollywood do not care one little whit about teaching accurate history.
In fact, they want to teach an altered version of history.
Yeah, revisionist history.
1 billion BC.
Now, I love here. He's handing out chocolate pudding to everybody.
So you remember when pudding came in those little tins like that?
Yeah, I do actually. Now, I like that they used chewing gum here to fix the antenna in a second, but in a second you see the cavemen come up to see the phone booth go away, but then one of the cavemen blows a bubble, which means they had to have met them and given them some fruit stripes on their own too.
Yeah.
Save the humans.
So if you wanted to get extra analytical about this, you'd be concerned about, the butterfly effect and all that kind of thing. But they've already set up with their whole, see, he's chewing the gum right there.
Yeah.
They've already set up that, there are the ontological paradoxes are all consistent. So anything that they change, is part of history anyway. So
yeah,
those. Go ahead.
No, please go ahead. You finish. I thought you were done.
I was just going to say. So any change that might have happened in history because those dudes had bubble gum, is part of history anyway. So
yeah,
and here we are full circle with them arriving back and establishing that ontological paradox. And what were you going to say?
The Age of Boomer brings up the TV series Bill and Ted. That was very, very short-lived and nowhere near as good as the movies. But if you were into Bill and Ted and the whole franchise, it was fun.
Sounds like somebody watched it.
Was it a cartoon?
No, it was a live action.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They did do some cartoon stuff, trying to get that off the ground after Bogus Journey, but that didn't really work out either. So now we finally get the conversation they had when Rufus told him away.
The other thing is, at the beginning, when they first came to talk to themselves, the phone booth was empty. Now it's filled with dudes.
Nope.
No, there were people in it earlier. They actually saw Beethoven.
I never thought to check, huh? After you reminded yourself not to.
And see?
I even had a black pair of shorts, the Jams they were called, that went down past the knee like that, and I would have sweatpants underneath it pulled up just to look like Ted because that was the cool fashion look. Abe, you're too tall, man. It's the way I'm built. What'd you say, Al?
Please tell me you have pictures of you dressed as Ted.
Oh, no. It was just like I wasn't even trying to dress as Ted. I was just trying to dress cool like Ted. I love that the historical guy's like, she's cute. It's his mom, dude. I love the names he gives them. Dave Beethoven.
Maxine of Arc.
Maxine.
Herman the Kid.
And they get to Abraham Lincoln. They're like, and Abraham Lincoln.
It's like he just
Abraham Lincoln
ran out of imagination.
I know. There's sodas in the fridge. So all of these, they all have to help with his chores. It's brilliant. The little touches, like you got Freud doing the vacuum cleaner,
Right.
He's trying to drink out of the toilet.
It's Genghis Khan. It's a whole lot of chores for a kid in high school. Like Billy the Kid is smacking on Joan of Arc. Because you get Freud and the oral fixation. You know? Yeah. Here we go at the mall. I do miss the mall of the 80s and 90s. That grand gathering place it was.
2012, I believe.
Really?
Closed. Yeah. I think it was in Arizona.
I'm actually surprised they didn't get more mileage out of Sigmund Freud with the whole Missy mom thing.
Yeah.
I forget, where do they pick up Napoleon again?
Oh, when did they pick him up again?
Yeah, because the kids had ditched him, so.
We find him in a second. But I like that the historical figures, he's like, remember who your buddy is? They've got a buddy system.
Marie Antoinette never actually said that. Okay.
What's that?
Marie Antoinette never actually said that. That was just
yeah.
You ditch Napoleon?
He's still got the little twins with him.
I know. It's like his little cheer squad or something.
And that's a good point. He's got his whole own story too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is some good writing when the background characters have some implied story going on consistently.
They go to Waterloo, the water park, to find Napoleon. I like the bathing suit that he gets. His bathing suit.
Yeah.
Somebody gave him a swim cap, which is hilarious. And him down the tube is hilarious. I like the music picks up and everything.
But the lifeguard pushing him down the tube was totally uncool.
Yeah.
I bet that happened back in the day quite a bit, though.
Probably.
Sometimes you just need a little assistance.
Push. Yeah.
Yeah, Agent Boomer, you're right. It did air. So they made it after the first film, but it didn't air until after the second film and the success of it and stuff. I hadn't even thought about it.
I like he's got his little ribbons on still.
Yeah.
And he loves it.
Casey Scott doesn't remember the live action Bill and Ted, but does remember the live action Weird Science.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I've got that on DVD, actually.
With the lovely Vanessa Angel.
Yep.
If you notice, because the white outfit he's wearing would be very see-through wet, he's got something in front.
Yep.
Like he's negotiating with the little girl to let her go first. And he's mad when they take him away.
Yes.
No, it's like a child. And now they've lost everybody else. So I love what each person ends up doing here. Like Joan of Arc is the aerobics instructor.
Yeah. I like that retro Houston Astros outfit.
Yeah.
Socrates and Billy the Kid. This is my favorite scene with them when they try to flirt with the girls.
Yeah.
And Freud messes it up.
Are you a musician?
He looks at him like idiot. It is pretty sweet, Beethoven rocking the Casios.
Yeah. I don't think this would be a huge stretch for him because he'd look at it and say, organ.
Yeah.
And he had to have not lost his hearing completely at this point. There we go.
I do like the AR call.
He's creepy.
They're going to be each other's wingmen here. This year's Socrates, Socrates.
Yeah, sure you are. But you can call me Ziggy.
Freud eating a corn dog, Al.
There you go, buddy. And now it's going down.
A mild form of hysteria. Socrates not a geek. What is a geek? It's perfect. Genghis Khan at the batting cage. That's awesome. I had the Genghis Khan action figure too. I remember that. Need to check out eBay and I mean, I can't buy it right now anyway, but need to see how much they are, how available they are.
Yeah, I definitely need some help here.
I got a live one.
It's like, did you not see him come in with the thing?
Yeah. Abraham Lincoln disturbing the peace. And Beethoven rocking. That's so cool.
And Joan of Arc pushing her out of the way to do her own thing.
That would be something to see.
I love
Genghis Khan.
Helmet and pads.
The pads and the skateboard.
Yeah, mall cops going up against Genghis Khan. No.
Billy the Kid with his gun.
Right.
Socrates with a spray gun.
Oh. Now the keyboard, the music employees mad at him for playing this keyboards, but wouldn't you think that's good advertising?
It would be.
It's bringing in traffic, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is exactly why they have a display up there like that.
Mm-hmm. Come on, Grandpa. they pick up the Bill and Ted's lingo. Bogus. Now, really, why would Beethoven be arrested? He's just playing keyboards. They just put him out. They wouldn't, you know.
It's not like the guy asked him to stop and he didn't stop.
Yeah, at least we saw.
Now who's looking for accuracy?
I like that Beethoven still got the sunblock on his nose.
Why do you claim it?
Tell me about your mother.
Want the couch to lie on?
So we need an interpreter who speaks Mongolian, French, German.
Yep, and Freudian.
And here are the two actors you...
Right.
I used to think they were doing like a split screen thing or something, but you do see them together. They're similar. Like the jock trying to give a history report. And Everybody's just laughing.
Imagine having to give a history report in an auditorium filled like that, though.
I used to make my students give presentations for their last paper, and it was funny. Now, some, of course, it's a stereotype. There are some very intelligent jocks I've known, but some of them are absolutely just nothing but the stereotype.
Yeah,
and it's like, and they do their reports on something sports related, too. Mom, he's keeping on Napoleon.
Stay. He's a puppy. Stay.
And he's still got the Ziggy Pig button on. If you'd only listen, Dad.
Right.
Hello.
Think four-dimensionally here.
Yep. If only we could go back in time. I love that. I used to think, how cool would that be? To whatever situation you're in, just say, remember to study for this test or something like that.
Right? Yeah. See?
Yes, it was.
Napoleon trying to mac on Missy. Josephine will never know.
Thing is, she is a little younger than he is.
Yeah, that makes it
hundreds of years.
I know.
Well, she likes older men.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have a point there.
That's very true. These elaborate plans, these future plans.
I know.
And obviously they remember all of this, so they're intelligent enough to remember.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Wolfton Media says, hit those likes, dang it. I think we've got 13 watching and 13 likes, but if you haven't liked it, definitely do so.
Yes, please.
Have dummy accounts. Go log into those and like them for them.
Build up that algorithm.
That's right.
That's some serious hair.
But I've always liked when people use the, we have to do this, we have to remember to do that.
Yeah.
Because they've used it on Doctor Who and almost everything else.
I like that little sticker on the printer. If you can do better, please do it.
Duck.
Duck. Which tells you how many times did that have to go wrong before they end up putting that there.
Well, the way it works, it never did go wrong.
Yep.
They always had that. It's an ontological paradox.
See, prayer works. Just saying.
Yep. Hey, I'm a firm believer in the power of prayer. Troy can even tell you.
Joan of Arc. She made it happen.
Prayer works, but a time machine helps.
Like, what should I say now?
Wild stallions.
I love those old tape recorders.
Uh-huh. Trash can. Remember a trash can. Now, how did they rig a
Wild
trash can to
Stallions
drop
rule.
at that point?
They go, not only did they rig it, they put Wild Stallion rules on it. That's
I know.
That's the cool part.
Found your keys. Nope. Here we got the epic history report.
Yep.
There's the smart, well-spoken geek. I mean, jock. I love this entrance. It's awesome, too.
Yeah.
Because they're thinking in terms of their performance, right? Their concert.
Not so fast.
Hey, who turned out the lights?
Spoilers.
I love that they got the lights and everything.
Yeah. Remember to set up the lights. Remember,
Yeah,
to set up the lights.
they had all the time in the world to do it after they finished.
Yep. I love Joan of Arc, the fist in the air. Don't make Billy the Kid angry.
Now, I would, Professor, you're the teacher here. Come on, this would impress you, right? I mean, someone put in this much effort.
Heck yes.
Showmanship, yeah,
absolutely.
Because it is a presentation,
right?
Mm-hmm. I just like to say that no one said it, and I'm trying to be very hetero about it, but you got to give Alex Winter props for those abs. Just saying.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's gone the whole movie in a midriff, and he can pull it off. I love that. Most of the world looked like the Led Zeppelin album Houses of the Holy.
Missy is such a supportive stepmom, showing up for the report and everything.
Yeah, she could be, like I said, they could have made her like this real, biatch type of person.
Mm-hmm.
But she's very helpful and
well, she wants to be his mom, right? She's the one who makes him call her that and stuff. Of course, later she'll be Ted's mom, but I like that the teacher is impressed. You start to see it.
Well, I like this because it also impresses their fathers too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're not screw ups.
No.
I love this. It's like, when did he have time to put this analysis together? Because it's pretty spot on.
I know. This is that famous image when Ted sits up and goes, "Whoa!" That's the meme right there.
Whoa.
Oh. A moment that lives in computer history.
Meme
history, yeah.
Thank you, Sigmund Freud.
I just got a minor edible complex. And she's like, what?
Minor edible complex. That's brilliant.
What's great is they're remembering all these facts from this,
Yeah.
Uh-huh. They did learn something.
Yep.
Totally ravaged China.
Miss of Arc.
Miss of Arc. Napoleon's battle plans. Water slide.
Yeah.
I like that they're bringing in pudding for everybody. Genghis very much enjoys Twinkies because of the excellent sugar rush.
Handles Messiah and
And
Slippery
Bon
When
Jovi,
Wet.
Slippery When Wet. That was a great album too. Instituting a full-scale aerobics program.
So think about it. They want the assignment is these historical figures. What would they think of San Dimas now?
Mm-hmm.
And this is literally them saying this was where they came from, and this is what we really experienced.
Mm-hmm.
From the teacher's point of view, he's got to say, okay, they're making it up, but they're giving us exactly what they think they would think. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is cool.
Yeah. I love that he starts off with a Gettysburg Address and then ends it with the Bill and Ted Ease.
Yeah.
Well, it's good that he had a positive theater experience.
Yeah. Right?
That was uncalled for.
7 minutes
soon.
ago.
Too soon.
Most excellent adventure.
So now Bill's parents are proud of him, whereas Ted's dad is just standing back there so confused.
Yeah. It's like, how could my son be doing something good? Casey Scott says, now I want a Twinkie after all this talk.
Yeah, right?
Like he says the first line, very Abraham Lincoln wise.
Yeah.
Then he busts out.
Yeah. 7 minutes ago.
Right.
Yeah. That is brilliant.
And their reaction is like, this went way better than I anticipated.
I know.
So now everybody get back into the phone booth. Let's do a Doctor Who thing.
Yep. And the teacher's pleased.
Now he had given them both an F. Do we see him change the grade?
No, but all he's got to do is draw a line straight down and it becomes a blocky A.
It was a pencil too.
Yeah.
Nice effects.
Yeah.
They're all like, dude, where'd they go?
It was like magic too, man. Oh yeah.
I like that they're lighting lighters.
Yep.
Like that Don Johnson guy in the front. I love that Rufus gets a last final moment with them. It's perfect. He gets the final joke too. But this is good. This is the denouement. This is where the heroes have to have learned something from their journey. So they're back just as they were before, but now they're changed. They have this little talk now.
A+.
Maybe it's time we start learning to play our instruments.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And there is that growth there. It's like
exactly.
No more messing around with the logic. It's like we got to buckle down.
Yeah, yeah.
I like
and they get rewarded for it.
I like the drum set has the little chime thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. I like that Rufus dressed them in the 80s wear too. Dressed the princesses in the 80s.
They're ready for the prom.
The only thing that would have been cooler is if the outfits they were wearing were the same color scheme they were wearing back in King Henry's day.
And something called credit cards.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
Look, instant girlfriend. Boom. On cue. Go over there and kiss your heroes. I love this. Let me jam
Why?
with you. Now this is when they finally get it. Why they were helped.
Yeah.
I love how it still looks like a CD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we got that same music back in the background too. That's the same song. I love that idea of the music aligning the planets, the spheres, you know.
And allowing them to somehow communicate with aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Da, 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 da.
Two common household pets.
Close Encounters rewatch.
Right?
I love that. The ladies are in the band.
Some good guitars.
So it's the ultimate hero's journey too. Like, hey, you are meant for more. You're more special. You're a lot more special than you think you are. You know that's classic hero's journey stuff. But it's nice that they don't realize that until the end.
It gives them their version of Excalibur.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Their axes. Yeah.
I play a little.
I know. I always hated those guitars without the heads. I always thought they were so weird. Rufus, want to join our band?
If you want to call that music.
As like that last, Rufus gets the last joke. They do get better.
Got the title in there.
I like it. Breaking the fourth wall.
Yep. It's just perfect for the last line of the film.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, all right. I have been a trooper because I could not miss any of this movie, but I got to go take a break. I'll be back.
I wonder why. The three most important people in the world.
So I have seen the preview for the new movie.
The Face the Music, yeah.
Yeah. And so I guess part of the premise is they haven't written the song yet or whatever, so they have to go into the future to try and obtain the music, which makes sense, right? It's kind of the opposite of what they're doing here.
Yeah.
Here they're going back in time and picking up historical figures and bringing them into the present.
Well, one of the things we're going to have to pay attention to is all the stuff at the end of Bogus Journey. Remember how they had all the history happening?
And that's what I was thinking about too, because don't they actually play the song that's supposed to be the big revolutionary, you know?
I don't know if it's the song, but they're finally good at the end of Bogus Journey.
Right, because they had gone into the future to learn how to play, and then they came back knowing how to play. Right. Now, I'm looking at the credits.
Right.
I'm reading the credits, and there's things like ugly waiter, stupid waiter. I'm like, Oh, I would hate to be the person whose name is attached to those.
Yeah.
Oh,
You forever have that on your resume.
In theory, they
I
knew
played
it going
the
into it because it was on the script, you know.
But can you imagine that being on your
honey
CV?
wagon driver.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine that being on your CV though? Going, yes, I played stupid waiter in Ted and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
I'm sure in Hollywood that's just par for the course, though.
Yeah, I was man number 3.
Italian crew. So some of this must have been filmed in Italy.
Maybe like when they were at the castle and all.
Oh, makes sense. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they might have had to do a few of them like that.
All right, I'm back.
Okay.
You still live?
Yeah, we're still live. Just watching the credits.
Heck, we may be live for 40 minutes after you end the show.
Soundtrack on AMN Records. Do they even still exist?
I'm gonna show this if you don't mind, Al, because I'll forget about it if I don't show it while I've got it in front of me.
Well, okay, hold on. Let me X out my.
We're not finished with the end credits, dude.
Sorry.
You can keep listening to the music.
Professor Geek just
It's the
ruined
end
the rewatch. Dale Craig said the stuff in Greece was probably filmed in Italy. Well, you never know.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
You know, Greece, Italy, same basic thing.
Yeah. How I make your picture larger?
Click on the little
solo layout.
The little generic avatar pic of me down there next to in the top right hand corner or left hand corner of my. There you go. You did it. All right.
Hey.
So I'm in my comfy rewatch clothes here. This is my I've talked about this many times, but this is the Halloween picture. It's not the one that I have that's like me posing and everything, but I was 10 years old, I think, here as Jack Nicholson's Joker from Batman. And I found a picture of me like lining up and well, let me turn the light on. There we go. Let me get a little focus here. It's not going to focus too well.
Who's the little one in front of you?
No clue. Some little witch who's got a crappy costume. But that's my sister behind me is the ninja. But I always talk about these pictures, wishing I had them to share it every time we talk about Batman. And I need to find the one with me like posing. But that's a pretty sweet makeup job too. My mom did. Not bad.
Yeah.
That's like total. That's like I went to a like the Goodwill shop and found those pants. It was like all put together on my own. It wasn't like a store-bought costume either.
Very nice.
The way costume should be. Of course, my sister's was a store-bought because she's lame. But
She's lame.
Thank you for sharing that and just taking over the rewatch. That's all.
Geek guest shot unless I'm doing show and tell of something.
Well, yeah, I'd like to thank everyone who enjoyed that. And of course, the further adventures of Bill and Ted will be Tuesday on the Professor's channel. And we'll have to pay very extra attention at the end, like we were talking about as you were taking care of some business there, Professor.
A lot of water.
At the end to see exactly, and then when we see the new one, to see how it actually contradicts those who actually decide to watch the new one. Some may not for various reasons or until they hear better or have a better feeling about it. But Tuesday, 10 o'clock, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Of course, adding the fantastic character of Death and of course Stations and the evil robot Usses.
Awesome. And the good robot.
So that's gonna be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to that.
And the Tuesday Night Classics will return. This is just one little break, so they will.
No. This is not a break. This is still a classic.
It's still a classic.
Well, I've been keeping it in the 40s, 50s theme, but yeah, okay.
It's still a classic.
Definitely.
It's fine. It fits, sort of. It's a screwball comedy.
It sure is a screwball comedy.
And those wondering why things got a little switched around because the professor is not going to be able to join us, not be able to join us next Saturday, and he really, 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 really wanted to watch Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. So
said, okay, stop crying, Professor.
We'll
do this for you.
We switched it around. He owes me a lot of money right now, so for flipping things around.
Al did give pointed comments like, "Oh, I guess I'm doing Bill and Ted on my weekend. Then fine, whatever."
I'm fine with doing Bill and Ted. We had always talked about doing Bill and Ted. It just kind of came up very quickly, but it was the perfect time to watch it with the new one coming out, because we had always said that. But Troy, do you have an idea about what's on next week? Well,
you want to go in order? Something might be happening tomorrow night.
Okay, well, I was just wondering about the rewatch. Yes, tomorrow night on Aged Boomer's channel. It is on Aged Boomer's channel, correct?
It is, but we already have the link up, so I went ahead and dropped that.
Drop those links.
Yeah, I'm dropping the link as fast as I can.
Aged Boomer's channel, there will be the study hall, all the latest geekery to be talked about. Aged Boomer and Troy will be discussing the latest and the geekiest.
Yeah, and there's plenty to talk about, let me tell you.
Yep, I'm also Monday night.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I said Monday night, the lovely and talented sound engraver. The Monday Night Muse will have does she have a subject yet for this week for the Monday Night Muse? Or is she still trying to kind of come up with it?
Oh,
do we know?
So Wick,
I think it's going to be music related.
Well, yeah, you might be right. But yes, definitely turn in for the Monday Night Muse, this sound engraver on her channel, somewhere around the 9:30 range. Monday night, Tuesday night, as we have discussed on Professor's channel, we have Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Wednesday night, we rest.
That's our day of rest.
Thursday night,
something. Then Wednesdays will be taken too, but so far it's a day of rest.
Yes, Wednesday is the day of rest. Thursday is the next 10 segments, chapters, whatever you want to call them, in Frank Herbert's Dune, the book study. I thought I was done today, and then I realized I still had 2 chapters to go, because there was a similar word at the beginning of that one. And I thought, oh, that's where we're supposed to leave off, and so I still got 2 chapters to read. So,
and if any of you are listening to the audio version or haven't started listening to the audio version, it's really great to listen to the different voices. It's helps
really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it really helps with moving the story along. If you don't have time to read, you can just have that going in the background, and it's like the story is staying in my head because I'm listening to it rather than reading it. I know it might sound a little weird, but that works for me.
Yeah, it's almost like a radio play a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's very, very good, straight on, definitely to the text. So if you do have access to the audio, I highly suggest it, because it's pretty cool.
You can't tell because it's all squished, but these are the little beasts that I battle all the flipping time, and that sucker was huge, right on my desk.
Wow!
But it was inside the drawer.
What is it? A cricket?
No,
it's a spider.
Oh, it's a spider. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can't
spider. Those suckers are about the size of a quarter.
No, this one was bigger.
Ooh.
It was wicked. It was like inside the drawer, so I was thinking about it for a while. I think hopefully you won't have a family.
But the question is, do you still have a frog?
Not inside. It's outside. There's a ton of them outside. They're always there.
Yeah, I did hear it last night during the Fan Bear show.
You did? You still heard it? Yeah, they're outside.
I heard
everywhere.
them. I did hear them. I didn't say anything about it, though.
Well, there's the pool, and then there's the creek and everything, so they're everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did want to mention that we have passed 100 mark in the Professor Geek. What do you call it?
Yes, very cool.
The Facebook page. Yes,
exactly. Definitely. If you haven't come join us there. It's a lot of fun. Come join us. Invite
Remember to answer the questions.
Please, if you invite your friends, tell them, answer those questions, or I will delete the request. Okay.
Troy's my gatekeeper. He's a loyal
I'm the
gatekeeper.
I don't ask for much, but I ask for that.
Yes, but okay, like I said, left off on the Dune. The Dune book study, 10 o'clock Thursday night. Of course, the professor will probably be going 9 o'clock early, like he usually does, to do a writing study. And you do a writing sample on Thursday, and an art thing on Tuesdays, right?
Yeah, I'm keeping Thursday as the writing lessons, whether I do samples or not. And then Tuesdays, thus far, people really seem to like the art analysis. You always get comments on the video afterwards, so I'm going to keep going with that. I need to edit out last week's writing lesson and put that up, but yeah.
Cool. And of course, our buddy the Fan Man has his Second Cup Cafe Tuesday and Thursday mornings around 11 o'clock. And Friday night, whatever it might be. We still got the Fan Man. We're doing Fan Man tonight until September, and then it becomes Friday Night Frights again as the Fan Man presents some of his favorite horror films. So looking forward to that coming up. Did I miss anything?
Nope.
Oh, I did ask. What is next Saturday's rewatch?
Oh, so next Saturday's rewatch is good question. Let me double check. I think I put it up on the group. I totally forgot. Let's see. I'm sorry, man. Give me just a second here.
It's going to be something cinema related.
Something cinematic. Something cinematic.
Something time travel related.
Here it is. Yes. So next week is Christopher Reeve in Somewhere in Time.
Oh, yes! We're doing Somewhere in Time.
Nice. Oh, nice.
Too bad you can't be there, Professor.
Well, if there's any, I need to watch the movie again because I haven't seen the movie since I was a teenager. Mm-hmm. But the book is horrible. Talk about, I don't use this word, but like Dee's definition of a simp is that character. He just like goes back in time and then just lays at her feet and begs her to love him. I'm like, what do you, come on.
Yeah.
You know, and it was total Matheson's politics too. He's like, oh, women shouldn't have to wear these corsets. Oh, you know, it's just like, get over yourself, Matheson. I mean, the great Matheson fell pretty hard on that one, but the movie, I can't remember if that fixed any of that or not. I need to see.
Oh yeah, it pulled almost all of that out, and I can't imagine that Christopher Reeve would have been in it if it was
exactly
that. You know, I mean, because it was,
and I think more, yes, but not Christopher Reeve.
But it's funny because that is always the typical modern person looking back at that era and railing against corsets. Mm-hmm. If you were to actually go back in time and talk to people back then, the women wanted to wear those corsets. It was not something that was imposed by them, by some evil patriarch. You know, it's just the way it was. It was for support, and it was for
it helped with their, you know, keeping their back straight, so that when they're doing a lot of, you know, since the women worked in the kitchen, they're often lifting heavy buckets and things like that. It's like it helped to support their back. It helped to give them a little bit more of a figure. Yeah, it wasn't a bad thing.
I mean, it'd be kind of like, really? You telling me what to wear? Really? Anyway.
And of course, the weekend after that, we're doing Goonies on my channel. Yes. And then September comes and it becomes Halloween, or at least for a lot of us. Have you thought of some of your Halloween rewatches? We know we got the Hellraisers coming up.
Yep, I actually, and that's why I wanted to go to the page, because I've got them all listed there. So I'm going to finish out the after Goonies. I'm going to finish out with the last in my planned time travel series, a film called Primer that I've been talking about for a while.
So that'll be the fifth, correct?
That would be the fifth. The following week, that's your week. Do you remember what you have?
I'm doing Big Trouble in Little China, my friend.
And whose film is that?
John Carpenter.
That's a John Carpenter film, which leads into the following week, another John Carpenter film. The second in John Carpenter's Apocalypse series and the first in my Halloween series, Prince of Darkness.
Okay, sweetie, have I ever seen Big China, Little, whatever, what he just said the name of the movie was?
Big Trouble in Little China?
Yeah, have I ever seen that one?
I don't know, but if you haven't, we'll watch it real soon because I think you're going to like it. It's a good movie.
If he has not given you the chance to watch that movie, he has been a poor husband.
I agree.
He's been a most excellent. He's actually been a most excellent husband.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Most
that is awesome. Good job, Nanette.
Yeah, just like I said, guys, keep an eye out for us on the rewatch. For the upcoming rewatches, we got a lot of great stuff coming up. Anybody else have anything final to say?
Be excellent to each other.
Away? And party on, dudes. Guys, have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us. Definitely party on.
Night, everybody.